I'm going to make sure. Welcome to the Unofficial Show. And my partner is MIA. Has anyone seen William? I talked to him all week long. I talked to him yesterday, and now I don't know where he is. And I don't know how to do that in that introduction. That was his
The way
thing.
it's done.
Welcome to the Unofficial Kids Show. No, see, I can't do it.
No, you got to lower your voice too.
Oh, yeah. Okay, let's see. Welcome to the Unofficial Show with William B, who's MIA, and Mrs. D. How's that?
Spot on.
All right, so I was going to start off with giving you guys an update about my daughter. She got one screw put in her foot on Friday last week. She's doing really good, but I want to show you the screw. It's like my thing, mothers showing off their pictures, but the screw. So we call this the deck screw. If you haven't seen it, I did post it the other day. That thing is huge. So, but she's doing well.
I've always wondered, can she feel it?
She's doing well. She says she doesn't feel any pain. She's talking about walking around today. I'm like, no. So the doctor did a really fantastic job. She gets her stitches out next week and the actual cast put on. So that's it for like my announcements. Do you have anything you want to share, Athena?
Nope. We're just going to school at home.
Yes.
School with new kiddos and school with my own kiddos. Those poor teachers.
Yeah. So I did have a little bit of an announcement to make. The show format is going to change a little bit. So I actually announced it as the Unofficial Show instead of the Unofficial Qkids Show, because I just want to go a little broader with our focus. So yes, we're absolutely going to continue to include Qkids stuff. And actually, I have an exciting surprise for you guys, but we are going to kind of broaden our horizons and be able to include all kinds of other stuff too that teachers might be interested in. All right, so my surprise, ready?
You got them already.
I got them, and you know what? I have a pair to give away.
Really? I was just about to pay Kelly for 2. She's got all these people are interested. She's already put one order in today, and there's still more people wanting them. Nicole,
everybody wants these. Did you get yours, Nicole? So nobody's going to want the giveaway.
What?
No, actually, I would love them, but I live in Canada and the mail has been horrible.
Oh, no.
I ordered a shirt from Kelly and it took forever. Not her fault, but it just took forever.
Yeah.
So I've been hesitant to do anything, but they're super cute.
They are.
Really cute.
Okay, well, I don't know the details of the giveaway yet. I have to come up with something really, really great. And then I'm going to try to have that ready for next week. And then somebody can win a pair of Momo and Covey. Okay?
Okay, then I'm going to hold out.
Well, I don't want to miss your opportunity either, but it's your choice. It's your choice. Okay?
No, it's okay because I think Kelly's going to be doing this for a while.
Yeah.
I think she's got I don't know what she thinks she's doing.
She's awesome. She did it so well, so efficiently. So I was excited about that. I might even order another pair because my kids saw those and they were like, we love Kobe and Momo.
Yeah.
All right. So let's go on. Now we're going to go into our news section. And our news this week is really all about Qkids because they came out with a big newsletter on Monday. And I forgot to talk about something last week. Last week, we did a couple of different things that were on the platform. And one of those things was the teacher check-ins. That's what I forgot to talk about. So I've been seeing a little bit of like, everybody's kind of worried about these teacher check-ins. You can find this. This is right next to the achievement medallions on the account tab. So that's the left-hand screen. Down at the bottom, the account tab. And then up at the top, you have your listing of things that you can go through there. And the teacher check-in is that last tab. Now, I just wanted to kind of clarify this with everybody and really support Qkids because this is not meant to be a punishment. This is not meant to be like a freak out type of thing. We are working together as teachers and as Qkids. So if something happens and needs to be addressed, it's going to be addressed. You're not just going to lose your job. You're not just going to be like, see you later. We're done with you. Qkids is all about teacher development and teacher growing and glowing and continuing to improve their style. So that's the idea behind this teacher check-in. And what it is that in a span of 1 to 2 weeks, if you have 4 lessons where you get tags, where you get the orange tags for feedback, that's when you're going to have an automated reply sent to you from your coach that says, hey, we're going to take a look at some better techniques. We're going to make some suggestions. We're going to try to grow in this area. Because if you really, I have found that getting that many tags in that short amount of time, it is a concern. It is something that, there's something that is happening that maybe you're not aware of. It could be your headset's not working properly and you just don't know that, especially if you're a new teacher and everything sounds great to you. Actually, a really good example of that is this particular headset right here. This is the V10 headset. It's an awesome headset. It works for everything. But on Qkids, the volume is just a little bit too low and I have to jack it all the way up to 100. And I didn't know that until my coach reached out and said, hey, your sound needs to be more amplified. Don't be afraid to jack it up to 100. And I said, well, you know what? That's got to be this. And I ordered a new headset and now it's fine. I don't have to do that anymore. But it's something that I wasn't aware of. The echo sounded good. I didn't really get a lot of feedback tags on that, but you can and you will. And you may not be able to identify it either. You might think that you're doing something really great, but it's not meshing well with the family. And sometimes just having an outside perspective saying, hey, this is how this culture likes to do something. Right? Because we are different cultures. Or, hey, this isn't really a good technique to use, but let's try this. So that's the teacher check-in. It's really just to help support us and to help keep us growing. So I really, really wanted to take a few minutes to talk about that.
Can I add one thing too?
Yeah.
Is that even before we had the check-in, I was like, especially with the upper level, it was kind of new and I felt like I had it down for the younger kids. But the upper level can be challenging and there's not like a big coaching sort of like, hey, this is going to be new and interesting and this is how you should do it, right? So I did a couple of them and I was like, I just know I could do this better. But you don't get the check-in unless you've had quite a few. So I'm like, I'm just going to reach out to my coach and say, I know you're recording. Can you just look at it and tell me what you think? And so within a day or two, she came back and she's like, it looks great. Go ahead and try A, B, C, D. And I was like, yes, someone can tell me. That's what they're there for.
Yes, exactly. That's right. So anytime you have a question, the coach is the first person that you may want to reach out to. And yeah, there is support on the Facebook communities, but yeah, definitely I always recommend reach out to your coach. They have that recording. They work for Qkids. They know what the families want. So yeah, that's good input too. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the newsletter that went out on Monday. It was a big one. And we're just going to hit some bullet points on there. The first one is that there's going to be that company-wide certification, okay? And that is going to be focused on industry-wide professionalism standards. So I don't know exactly what those details are going to be, but it's going to be how to be a professional ESL online teacher, how to have that professional appearance, right? And then how and when to use the urgent reporting button. What situations will we use them in? What should we expect when we do that? Okay, so this is going to be a mandatory certification. Every teacher that works for Qkids is going to have to complete this. Once the announcement comes out, you will have 30 days to finish that certification. I think that's very generous. I think that, and it's only 15 minutes. Right? So you're just going to read and look at some videos, probably, maybe do a little quiz, and then you're done. And I think that this is a very good thing because some of us don't really know when to click that urgent button. Well, should I? Shouldn't I? What do I do? I haven't heard anything back. Why haven't I heard anything back? And I imagine that we're going to get a lot of questions answered going through that. So that, and then we're also going to be having certifications to be eligible to teach these different sections. So you talked about teaching the uppers. And currently there's no certification to teach uppers or phonics or science or starters. Everybody who comes into Qkids is able to teach level 1 through 3. And then after a little while, they start to be able to teach levels 4 and 5. Then after that, it's okay, we've noticed you're really good at this. Would you like to? The coaches will send out invitations to ask if you would like to join a different type of teaching program. Currently, they have available uppers. Those are upper levels. Anything from level 6 to 12 is considered an upper level. Phonics, that's the Chinese. Now there's 2 phonics programs, Chinese and North American phonics. There's the science, there is the starters, okay? So those are the 4 special divisions that we have. And as of right now, they are invite only. And what this certification is going to do is it serves as your invite. From what I understand, it will kind of be your invite where you will then go through a sort of training and become certified and be added to the pool of teachers that can teach those specific types of classes. And I think that's great because I do think that we have to have a company-wide plateau. This is how Qkids wants it done. I mean, we have lots of questions, especially for uppers, like how do we approach reading in the uppers? This is a great example. Okay, so what is the Qkids preferred method of teaching reading? Okay, so that's going to answer those kinds of questions. I'm not going to get into that one.
I was like, do tell.
Well, look at the Facebook forums. There's some stuff on there.
Yeah, that's what I do.
And so but you aren't going to be able to request. It's not going to change anything. You're not going to be able to say, hey, can I do the certification for the phonics? It's going to be, you will have this certification that you will be offered that you can opt into. And then based on demand is how you get the classes, right? Okay, and then I just wanted to say real quick, the official Facebook groups for Qkids are House of Qkids, the Qkids official newbie support mentor fun group, and the Qkids English. That's that company web page. So that's more of the business page where you don't post and reply and all of that stuff. That's where they post things and we can comment on them. But those are the 3 official Qkids. There's also, I believe there's a North American phonics one, but they're kind of almost like a wing off of Qkids, I believe. So, for the Chinese students, those 3 things are the official groups. All right. Also, more workshops are coming in the fall. Did you take the first workshop?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, good. So there's some more workshops in the works. Yay. We love those. It just helps us grow, right? And there's more changes coming to that teacher platform. All right. So keep your eye on it. I always say that because they posted that curriculum, but there's more stuff going on there. They hinted to some stuff in the newsletter. All right. So we're doing pretty good for timing here. Do we have any questions or comments? I will open you up for like 2 minutes for questions and comments on that newsletter. Nope. Okay.
Not really. Not on the newsletter.
All right, good. I know there's probably a million questions that everybody wants to ask all the time. All right, so let's move on to the next topic, and this is going to be a continuing topic. This is, let's see, it's not it was asked by a Qkids teacher, but it's not Qkids specific, okay? It can be used for any ESL teaching, all right? And it's what we're gonna do with level 1. Okay, so a teacher requested that I share practical teaching tips by level. So we're going to go through level 1 through 12. So each episode will have a level on it now. Okay, that's going to be part of our show. So you make sure to come back so you get every level, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Or watch it again on YouTube.
Yes. I'm streaming live to YouTube for the first time, so this is exciting. But yeah, so make sure you keep up with the level tips. All right. This is a great idea. So it's a new segment to our show. It will be on every episode until we reach the end of level 12, and then I don't know what we'll do from there. But that's a while away anyway. So across all platforms, across all ESL teaching, let's start at the beginning. Level 1, you have your basic beginners, right? The number one tip that we have there is to speak slowly, okay? We know our language and we speak it quickly. So somebody who doesn't know a language really needs that breaks and speak slowly, clearly, okay? And really emphasize your mouth, your movements with your mouth, okay? So we know that first lesson where, we say, good morning, good morning. They really need that slow. And we maybe feel like we're stupid or silly or, but for them, that's what they need. They need to see that slow mouth movement so that they can do that. I also recommend that we do not put a lot of extra words into the lessons. You have target vocabulary and target language, so we stick to that, especially at the lower levels. You're going to end up getting tags if you're adding all kinds of extra things in there and nobody understands what you're saying, okay? We've got to keep our teacher talk low at basic levels, okay? So really it's all about hello, how are you? Because this is what they're going to need every lesson continuing forward. Every single teacher is going to get on and say, hello, what's your name? So they need to understand that, and that's where we're going to focus, and we're going to speak it slowly and clearly with lots of body language. Then think about your first day. Let's see. I want it to be something you remember. A lot of us aren't going to remember our first day in kindergarten, right? But think about maybe your first day in college class. It was like nerve-wracking, right? It's like, who are all these people? Am I going to know what they know? Is the professor am I going to understand him? Is he going to like me? All these things we had on that first day of a college or university level class. Well, that's the same thing that those little guys are feeling, right? Whether they're 5 years old or 12 years old or whatever age they are, they're feeling all that too. So you'll get some of them who are super shy. And they don't know. These are strange sounds. You're asking them to say evening, evening. That's strange to them. So we have to be really patient and really, just keep trying. If they don't say it every time, it's okay. Just give them the opportunity and then move on a little bit and, just keep trying. And then some of them will be eager and they'll evening, and you stop, slow, listen. Okay. And so that's exciting. For them, they're just ready to go. All right. So, but that's the biggest thing is like keeping it slow. And the other thing that I like to talk about is the teacher talk to student talk. All right. So that's how much is the teacher talking? How much is the student talking? What's our focus in these lessons? We want them.
They talk.
They talk, right.
Yes.
So in education all around the world that is not language education, it's teacher talks, student listens. It's teacher saying, shh, stop talking, listen, stop fooling around, listen, pay attention, shh, no talking, right? That's the opposite of what we're trying to do. Of course, we want them to pay attention and we don't necessarily want them to fool around unless that's, what the way that we're going with the lesson, but we want them to talk. So I always try to keep at level 1, and this is like, a 50-50 ratio. Okay, so 50% of the teacher talking, 50% of the student talking. That would mean every time I say something, the student repeats it. That would be 50-50. Okay, that could be unreasonable for a level 1. So I would even say 60-50. The teacher talks 60% of the time, the student talks 50% of the time. That's going to be a goal because their goal is to talk. So I speak and then I wait. And let me tell you about the power of waiting. Wait. And it can be that long. And I know that feels uncomfortable for us, doesn't it? It's like every second counts in these lessons, but a wait time of 5 seconds, it feels like a long time, but that's enough time for them to process that information and let it come out. So those are my practical teacher tips for level 1. Does anyone have anything to add to that? We have about 5 minutes left for the show. I think we lost Athena. We did. Ba-bing! This show was it's one of those shows. And actually, we started 5 minutes late, so we have like 10 minutes. So let's see. Nicole, you're going to have to unmute yourself.
Here I am. There may be some background noise, so I apologize. My husband and I both work from home, so we're here together.
Hey, I understand. My kids, my husband came in to this morning and he's like, "Are the kids going to school today?" I'm like, I'm teaching.
Now it's not the time.
Yeah. So do you have anything to add to anything that we talked about, or any questions that maybe we could explore?
I had a question. Actually, it's a theory that I wondered if you had an opinion on, but it's from last week's lesson or show, not this week.
Yeah, that's okay.
So this Momo medallion about family favorite. So I had a thought, and I wondered what if you'd considered that it's a percentage. So I just got it for the first time, and I did not make all 5s. I had 1 4. Thank you. But I had 1 4-star review, but I also had a lot of one-on-ones. So I'm wondering if it is a percentage because of how many parents rate you out of how many classes you're getting. So lots of one-on-ones, I have 100% feedback coming from those families, whereas a 4-on-1, maybe 1 parent will put in a star or a tag, and maybe that's where the discrepancy is coming from. Tags versus stars versus medallion, no medallion.
I appreciate your input on that because we still are on the trail of that elusive family medallion.
Like I got it and I was like, I'm thrilled, but I have no idea what it means at all.
Well, a little birdie told me, and I don't know if this will help us in this understanding. A little birdie told me that it is based on both the tags and the feedback from the star feedbacks.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think you're onto something there with the one-on-one, you're getting 100% feedback, whereas with a 1v4, you might get 2, 3.
Yeah.
3 is good. If you get 3 tags, 3
I don't,
tags.
yeah, that happens so rarely. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've had it a couple times and I'm like, please give me the 4th, give me the 4th, give me the 4th. And I never get it.
I've never even been close to getting 4. I think I've hit 3 on a few, and I've had so many recently with no tags at all.
Yes.
And I'm kind of like trying not to be I'm like, anything, just anything. Tell me but
just so that it helps us to reflect on our own teaching, right? That's why I like to keep a notebook, so that I'm not only dependent on the feedback that I'm getting from families. I'm also dependent on immediately after the lesson or shortly after the lesson, I write down a few things, right? What went good, what went wrong, so that I'm not only like waiting for tags. I'm also saying, hey, I've noticed this trend over these classes. So I should probably focus on fixing that or making that better, or, oh, this is great, so I'm going to keep using it. But the family medallion, so I actually haven't gotten it. I don't know if I mentioned it last time or not.
I don't recall.
I haven't gotten it, but I do get heavy green tags. Now I go, just like everyone else, I go through droughts of green tags where I'll have like 3 classes where I won't get any green tags. And I'm like, and from what I understand about that, what Naomi said when she was on the show, it's kind of hidden. Like you have to go through this, through this to get to rate the teacher. So I wonder if that has an influence on why sometimes we get more feedback than other times.
Right? Possibly. And I know I teach predominantly uppers now. I get the odd lower, and I get green tags, but it's fewer. So I think if the kids are responsible for it, which I think sometimes they aren't going to take the time, which is fine. I have adult children. I get it completely. They're not thinking that way.
Right.
But I can imagine if it's not like right there in their face that they wouldn't be They won't go looking for it.
Especially if you're busy or you're a working parent, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
oh, I forgot to rate that class and now it's been 48 hours or however long that I think they have 48 hours to rate the class, and then the opportunity is gone. So if you get hung up doing something.
True. Very true. And I get it. I had 3 kids at home, so people are busy.
Yeah. So we're still, trying to understand where that family favorite medallion comes from. There was teacher tips replied to something on the Facebook forum that had to do with the fact that I don't remember exactly what tag they were the great green tag one. The great green tags, where the teacher tips account said that there was a mathematical kind of equation that takes all of the statistics into account when they're figuring these things out. So assuming that to be true, then we would have to realize they're taking into account one-on-ones. They're taking into account how many classes you're teaching. They're taking into account how many star ratings and how many green tags you're taking. So there's a new number of factors that would work into this. But the cracking the family favorite medallion is still.
Yeah, they did a beautiful job of making it just vague enough.
Yeah.
That it's not real clear.
I totally understand all of the other medallions, but the family favorite.
Yeah. Yeah. And when like I said, I was thrilled to get one, but at the end, my husband was like, well, what does it mean? And I'm like, I'm not entirely sure.
Well, the families like you in some manner, right?
Yes, in some manner. Don't ask me to quantify it because I cannot.
All right. Well, Nicole, thank you so much. And, I didn't notice. No, Athena never came back. So maybe she had an internet bloop. And
Quite
William,
possible.
William, where are you?
Next week.
I hope he comes back next week. I hope you come back next week too.
I will try my best. 2 o'clock.
And don't forget.
But sometimes.
Yeah, don't forget.
Oh my gosh, they're so cute. And if I didn't have such a hard time getting my t-shirt, I would probably jump right on it. But the mail is such a pain sometimes.
They were a while to wait for, but man, these guys are worth waiting for, right?
Well, my shirt actually got sent back. There's something happening with the Canadian Post. And it was I don't want to say a nightmare. It was just.
They're not letting it in from us because we're infested.
Yeah, but they are super cute. And every time the kid holds one up, I wish I could go, me too.
Yeah, I'm so excited. I showed it off like twice in class today and nobody was excited.
Were they younger and they still weren't excited?
I had the phonics lesson for tail, like the AI blend.
I don't teach phonics, but yeah.
Okay. And I was like, A, tail. And they were just repeating. They weren't like, oh, it's Momo.
No, they could like.
And I was like, no tail. And I don't know. It was just one of those groups that really didn't.
They weren't vibing with it.
Two of them. Oh, we'll try again tomorrow. I don't teach in this evening, but I will try again tomorrow.
I hope it works out better.
Yeah, I was all excited. I'm like, they're gonna love it. And they're like,
They're finicky kids.
Yeah, they are funny, but I love them. I love starting my day like that every day.
I do too. It's a lot of fun.
All right, so we are going to wrap it up. Thank you, everyone, for staying tuned all the way to the end, and we will see you next time. Bye.